Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you
Welcome.
again.
Yes.
Always looking well and young and well kept. And
Thank you.
thank you very much for letting us speak with you this afternoon. I would like you, ma, to talk, to introduce this interview with your early years, maybe your parentage or your background in the early years, your origins.
Well, I was born in 1926, December 1926, in Benin City of all places, because my father was a civil servant then
Right,
and had been posted to Benin.
right.
My father is an older Andren. My mother also went to the CMS Girls Seminary, Lagos, one of the oldest
Senegal,
girls seminary
seminary.
in Lagos. So I was lucky really. We had they had 7 of us surviving children. Well, we were very lucky actually. We all became graduates. The 4 boys and 3 girls, and
Right,
the 4 boys were. I'm the eldest, and the 2 of the boys are, in fact, 3 of the boys are engineers. Dr. Ademola Banjo,
right,
of, who was at ECN, who started
right,
ECN,
right,
was my brother.
right.
And the third one is Colonel Victor Adebukola Banjo of
Of the
the
Nigerian Army.
Nigerian Army
Adebukola.
fame. She's Victor Banjo
Everybody knows.
of Nigerian Army fame.
Yes.
Um, the third one is my sister, who also did. What did she do? She did science. Science. I think she did science education.
Right,
Yeah, she did science education because she came out to be. Went as far as being head of a secondary school in Lagos before she
okay,
retired.
okay.
She's also in her 80s.
Mm,
And the 2 youngest are my brother, um, Professor Adetoun Ogunseye. Have you heard the name too?
yes.
Of who was going to fight Abacha?
Right.
Do you
I
remember?
remember. I remember.
The so well, he did recruit a few people, but they all fell out. They already He was left alone, and he said he was going to see it through. But God saved us. We were just lucky that he didn't succeed in that area. But it's somebody. Well, I'm sure that they all put their names in history of Nigeria. And the youngest of us was she's still alive. Is a girl who did physics, who started, one of the people who started physics department at the University of Ibadan. One of those that Obasanjo retired. You know, when they said everybody must retire one person. I didn't retire. I refused to retire anybody in my department. I don't know, the other came and just said if you have somebody who had been misbehaving and who needed, you feel you don't want to know, you should. But some people took it to mean that they have to retire somebody. Because I know the head of department then came to me to say this. Sorry, I should first of all ask my. No, actually, he was very kind. He first of all said, would you ask your sister to resign? And I said, why? He said, oh, because she's been ill she had some problems, so she's been ill. And I said, why should she retire? And she said, well, the orders have come that somebody should be retired. I said, well, I'm not retiring anybody in my department. Although I had somebody qualified for retirement at them. But we've invested a lot in
them.
He's in them, and why should? And of course, she refused to retire. She said, why should she retire? But she went on. Even then, she did physics, and she went on then to head a secondary school in Ibadan before she retired. So I come from
You have a pedigree.
yeah. No, let's say we were very lucky, and I was glad that we all made it and have made contribution. All of us have worked for this country in one capacity or the other. Yeah. In Lagos, in Ibadan, in MacArthur, in the old British Cameroon. In fact, I went to most of my school, in primary school, was in the British Cameroon. Victoria, it's now Limbe. In the British Cameroon. I took my entrance exam to Queen's College at Buea, the capital, which was about 29 miles or so up the Cameroon mountain. And I have wonderful memories of the Cameroon, of Victoria, because my father took me to go and take the exam, and I was the only candidate in the, what was it called then? It was called the Cameroon province or something. Or I'm not sure what it was. I think most of it is now Makurdi. But the old British Cameroons. And after the exam, he took me to see the sluice on the, which was the resident castle on the mountainside, and then took me to climb the mountain. I'm sure that's where my geography interest began, because we climbed up to, the white man really did organize the country for viewing and for administration. But as we got up to rest house number 2, the clouds came and we had no guide, so we had to run down the mountainside. So I have wonderful memories of the British Cameroon. Yes.
About what year was this? 1936.
That must have been 32, 33, 32, 33.
Ma, you had a good head start.
We did, all of us, yes.
Yes, very well. I mean, because we were lucky, your parents were educated.
Educated, yes.
So they knew what they wanted for their children.
Yes. Oh, they sent us to the best school. He sent us all to the best school. In fact, 2 of us, all of us went to Queen's College, either in Ede or in Lagos. Yeah, both, the 3 of us. At one stage or the other, I went to Queen's College only. The others went to, the older one started in Lagos and then went to Ede, finished in Ede. The third one did all in Ede and did the advanced program in Lagos, so.
Why did they have to take the Queen School to Ede?
Queen School to Ede? I think, I don't know, we never found out. I think they were, first Queen's College had started in 1926.
Right.
And when we had when we were going, I think the British then decided that they must, but it was under a special dispensation by a group of women who pressurized the British the governor, who was white then. Oh, I lived with Lady Abayomi in Broad Street. So Government House was also a meeting place of the elites in the civil service then. Because there was rapport between, and it was her group really that pressurized the establishment of Queen's College. And I think later on they decided that they didn't quite move Queen's College. They just established another it was, I think they were established about the same time as they had Queen's School in Enugu. They had Queen's School in Enugu and one in, which was the third place now. Was that one in Calabar? No, I don't think so. But they had, I think, pardon? And did they have one in the north? They couldn't start one in the north because there was the preliminary infrastructure that should have established, that is a primary and a secondary school, did not exist then. But when I went to Queen's College, I went to school with, we had a mixed school, students from various parts of Nigeria. It was after I left that we had a girl from the north.
Right.
But it was mainly Enugu Queen's School and Ede Queen's School.
Now you had to go to university, of course. I know that you first went to the Yaba Higher College.
Yaba, well, yeah, it's not exactly the same as the Yaba Higher College was there now. It was, Yaba Higher College was a place where this British government trained its administrators, doctors, engineers, educators, not nurses, not pharmacists either. That was established, I think, in about 1937.
Right.
And we were brought in that third year, was it, or my second year, third year, we were brought to Ibadan from the nucleus of the University of Ibadan. But halfway through, I didn't finish in Ibadan because halfway through in the second year, we were asked to, in the second year, one of my teachers recommended that I should try for Cambridge University. And I did take the entrance exam here, and they monitored it, the exam for me. You know, Cambridge University has a collegiate system.
Colleges.
They were all colleges.
That's right.
And I opted for Newnham College, Cambridge. And I did the exam and passed. But to get into Cambridge, you had to have Latin. And what else? What was it? There was something else that I have to credit it. And I taught myself add maths to go for the exam so I can have credits in mathematics and I had 1 year Latin. And I knew Pedro, one of the tutors, I think my tutor's husband actually said, was a classicist to give me some lessons in Latin. And I passed. I not only passed, I got credit. So he said, you had set up what did he call it? That had set up that had done a 6-year course in 1 year to get credit in. So I did that to qualify me for the exam, because you have to be qualified for the exam. And then I got British. I got, in fact, my brother and I got British. I got in Nigeria. I'm not sure now. I got a Nigerian government scholarship to go. I think my brother got a Commonwealth scholarship. He went to Manchester because he was an engineer.
Right. Right. Your brother, you mean Victor Banjo or Ademola?
Ademola Banjo. He was the ECN. He was the first ECN. He's the first Nigerian to direct ECN.
That's right. So, how did your interest in librarianship come by?
Well, I wasn't. I did geography and came back as a wife to Ibadan.
Okay.
Soon after I came back, and my husband got appointment to extramural. He had been running extramural studies for them in Lagos, and so he got appointment as a deputy director of extramural studies in Ibadan.
In Ibadan, which was attached to the university.
No, it was one of the departments of the university. So it was one of the departments of the university. So the full place. Then the university librarian asked me to come and organize their map collection. And I was organizing their map collection. And then I became Africana. It was attached to the Kana collection. Collection in the library, yes.
Collection.
Yes.
Was that Harris?
That was Don Harris, yes. I worked with Don Harris.
Right.
And we were on the old sites at first. And then when I qualified, John Harris asked me to come and organize their collection in the library. So I did. And it was there that then when he set up the library school in Ibadan, he asked me to come and give lectures. And I said, no, if I'm going to give lectures, then I must go and do a course in librarianship. By that time, I have even devised the catalog classification scheme for African maps. And so I was interested. And so I went to the States and did a master's in librarianship. It was a one-year master's course, you know. Well, they took cognizance of the fact that I had gone to Cambridge, and that was an advantage on my side.
Very true. Very true. So how long were you in Cambridge for?
3 years. I did it in the 3 years. Yes.
Okay.
I know when I finished, I was a bit disappointed because I got I got a third. In the first year, I got a second,
right.
and I don't know, maybe I'd relaxed. No, I had a disadvantage. I didn't really have Latin, and I didn't have French.
Oh.
And I had to do an exam where the question paper was in French.
Oh.
I had to do cartography, you know.
Right.
In fact, my tutor said I should be happy that I made it. Did I know that I was the first Nigerian who had made the geography tripos in the 3 years that they were supposed to do it, and that if I had gone to, he said if I had gone to Oxford, I would have got a second, but I didn't. Oxford was not very strong in geography at the moment, because geography, we learned when I was a student that there was going to be this global warming, that the world was getting hotter and hotter, and that there was going to be the deserts were going to be moving into more into the forest areas. And Nigerians did a lot at that time, even to stem the advancement of the desert. But as soon as we got independence, I think we just did not carry on all the programs that were started to keep the fast movement of the desert now that are driving the herdsmen towards us, or so they say. But I don't know why it should. They're getting to the forest area, and the forest area is not really for cattle, but nobody's talking about that. So I believe it's too hot. It's not a it's not a ranch area.
All right. And then, of course, you were excited to be the first female student, the first female
student in Cambridge. Yes,
in Cambridge.
Yes, in Africa, from Africa. Yes,
from Africa. The same when you came back to Ibadan, when you came back home. How did you then get to work? Of course, Ibadan was the first at the time, and it was.
Yes, it was. Yes. Well, my husband joined the university. I got married. First of all, when I came back, the civil servant said, We have no plans in the budget for graduate teachers. I just wanted to teach in a secondary school.
Oh.
And work out a geography syllabus. I said I started planning the geography program for from secondary one up the way to, and that's why I started this one on map reading, map reading for secondary schools. And so I was very keen on just being a secondary school coach. And then I've lost it. What did you ask me the question?
How you got into University of Ibadan?
Well, as I said, my husband was on the staff and got married. We got married, and I had wanted to teach in a school, and they couldn't. They said no. I was free to go and work for the mission, so I went to work for the Anglican mission, and I started the St. Margaret's School, Elisha. I started it as in one of the Anglican secondary modern school then. So I was there for about 2 years before I had to relinquish it, and came to university. And then Harris invited me to come and organize the map collection.
Right.
And then he started this library school and said, would you like to come and teach in the library school? That I should come and teach classification in the library school. I said no. Classification of maps is different from I've known enough now about library studies to know that you have to go for a course. So I went for a course and opted for the American system of a postgraduate master's in librarianship. I think I applied for it from school. That's how I got into library studies.
And then you became a pioneer there too.
Yes, I became a pioneer there too because I started the library school. First of all, we were taking the professional exams of the British Library, LA Library Association. And that was not a graduate exam. It was a purely professional diploma exam. We took that for a number of years, and I said, if you are going to organize the resources of man for everybody, then you must be yourself well equipped, well educated, and that it must be a graduate program. Like in America, it's a graduate program. You have to have, first of all, a degree in a discipline, and then come and do library science as a professional course, 1 year academic course. So I fought for that and won, and we started both all the master's program and so. But with the master's program, you didn't have enough candidates, because at one time they started giving us grants according to the number of candidates. It's only a 1 year course. So later on, they also changed to a degree program. I don't know how the degree program had fared, because, well, most of the librarians in Nigeria now have first degree and master's as. Yes.
Okay. And you settled.
And I settled that. But I also started, I noticed that many of the institutions in Nigeria started a program for improving the quality of teachers. I was concerned about the quality of teachers. And there were no libraries in schools then. And I wanted to prove that the effect of the library on the availability of a library on the development of a Nigerian school child. So I started Aberdeen Media Resource Center, which is now and we had a research program really well-designed research program. We drew up a syllabus that should go into along with a primary school, a syllabus for teachers in a secondary school. And we were hoping that we'll be able to train both the teachers to teach one of the subjects that a child must learn at school. From primary one, we learned what are books used for. And we took into in our strides, we brought in the computers were just coming in then. And I'd done this program in the USA where I'd seen computer science had been introduced. We tried to, what we tried to do in Aberdeen is do a program that will make the use of libraries and resource materials for learning to promote the development of the Nigerian school child. And that's how Aberdeen started. It was going to be a big program to design learning materials for primary schools, essentially for primary school, because we proved in our research that because we had this program for each of the classes. That's why I put it next door to the primary and secondary school in Aberdeen.
That's right.
That's right.
We
wanted to prove that find out what is the effect on the child of the use of libraries and what type of the program should be in the library. And it was a fantastic experiment, actually, very successful. We proved that you can affect the development of a child by exposure to the lab, no matter what. In fact, we proved that the children of professors and who started at the same developmental age level, and gradually, by the end of the 6 years, are 2 years ahead of the ordinary primary school child that was denied of the program. We used another school in not too far away, but in Bodija as our control school. We had the experiment school and our control school. And we denied them of libraries and this, but we gave them the same type of exams, developmental exams. It was a simple developmental exam of draw a man. And we found that the children in our experiment were 2 years ahead of their contemporaries.
So soothing that it's almost now the truth is that the thing was started in Aberdeen, which was close to the primary school.
Yeah.
And it started off the children well by using the library.
Yes.
So they will ask us to go. But I also remember that there was a dispensary there at some point. That building.
We took over their building, for expansion.
To Jaja Avenue.
Yes. They moved to the dispensary moved to Jaja. Was it? Yes, it was Jaja. And we then acquired it and expanded it and had books for children on all subjects.
Right.
From books about the moon and space travel and all things. It was fantastic. And the children really did very well. They did benefit from it. But now I was going to carry that experiment into teacher training programs, so that it will, and that will be done, because I believe that a child does not need to learn, you must teach a child how to use books and libraries. If you have good libraries and people haven't learned how to use the library will be there, they will not even use it. They might not even use it unless you have a good active librarian who will beg them to. But if you had included it in primary 1, primary 2, they know that the library was open to both the teachers to improve the quality of teaching and write books for the children, books that have local content for the children. Or have one of the other things that we also introduced with are the non-book learning materials, which we want to develop.
Non-book learning.
Non-book learning. Well, this is what they brought in now. They're all using iPads in schools now. They all have films describing, no matter what is it, you can have a film supporting it to make the children understand it. You bring non-book materials into the library too.
That was a pioneering effort at that time.
Yeah.
That the extramural program was somewhere in the Faculty of Education there too, isn't it?
Yes, the extramural program was also part of the education program. Yes, but that was, well, yes, we all started in the, was it old site? No. Yes, we all extramural departments moved into this site, into first Faculty of Arts, and then they moved them up. So they create education, Faculty of Education, and we opted for education.
That's the library program.
That's the library program opted for education.
Is there any special
Education opted also. Education is on its own. There's a faculty. The Faculty of Education.
Yes,
I was Dean of Education too.
Right.
At one
I
time.
noticed that the library program, which is now Laris.
Laris, yes. Yes.
Was domiciled in education.
Yes, was domiciled in education.
Okay. Which was logical, because if you wanted people to use the library, it was probably better housed in, everybody would use the library, but the Faculty of Education perhaps even more.
Yeah, because they are training the teachers, the people who are teaching people to how to learn and how to think.
Right.
And that was very important then.
Yeah, it was. So it meant that the legacy, what you now left, what you took to Aberdeen now, that and moved it for the children to benefit from.
Yes, because I was trying to say that every school must have a school library. Even in the primary school, there must be a collection, a library collection of books and non-book materials. And that we brought in a lot of non-book material, or mixture of book and audio-visual material into. You must have books and audio-visual material brought into the library to promote teaching.
Right.
The video, and it's now video. In those days, you have slides. You have what else did we have?
Microfilms.
Microfilm and all sorts of things. And then a video. To.
Which thank you, because that was an important segment.
Yeah. Very
Of
important. Yes.
Learning,
Yeah.
of teaching and learning. And what now? Did you think of working directly for the library instead of, because you then became a professor of library studies?
Yeah. But library studies became part of the Faculty of Education.
Right.
We were domiciled to the Faculty of Education.
Right.
Because we trained the teachers.
And the library, of course, an institution also by itself, was very close to education there.
Yes.
Education and arts.
And arts, yes.
After you then became established as a university teacher now, of course, having gone to Cambridge and returned, what were the challenges you confronted?
Oh, quite a lot. Well, first of all, I had challenges with people accepting that librarianship should be a graduate program, or that it should be, we should have a library school at the university. That was number one challenge, first of all. And this is why I didn't start the undergraduate program, because I felt with the undergraduate program, you are doing a repetition of what would have been simple by just running a postgraduate program and develop. Because in the postgraduate program, you have the university librarians, you have the law librarians, you have the, after you become a graduate, you can still improve and do law libraries, education libraries itself, a librarian itself. You can be a science librarian, you can be a, and there's no institution that you can set up if it doesn't have its own database of knowledge. Will not develop. And therefore, I saw it as essentially a postgraduate program. It's a professional postgraduate program, like medicine. Like medicine. And that, like medicine, and if we're going to organize the intellectual resources of man, then you yourself must have studied a discipline up to the highest level, so that you can communicate with graduates who come into your library. You can be the person who explain the resources available into. So I didn't see it. I don't know what is happening with the undergraduate program now, but they're still battling with undergraduate, because then they started with. In fact, my idea was that by now the Department of Library Science should not have become the Department of Communication Science, and that it should include in it archivists, librarians, and information scientists who will use, who will create database. We foresaw that the intellectual resources of the world just vary in the social and in the arts. In the science, it's more or less basically the same. I mean, and therefore that even if you are, every individual must have some basic information about science. We have said that every child must know about science, about his environment, about his. And I was a geographer. Geography had the same problem before. But now it's accepted as environmental.